Today we are reacting to more pods. I don't know. Let's do this.
This plant explodes.
What?
But why? Well, you see, this is a squirting cucumber. Stop giggling.
What?
I see you laughing. Stop it. This is serious. These things are found worldwide, and to understand where this thing got its name, you need to understand how most plants spread their seeds.
Okay.
So most of the time, plants store their seeds in their fruit. Birds then swoop down, grab their food at the drive-thru, eat it, and fuck off. They then digest the flesh of the fruit, but shit out the seeds. Seeds hit the ground, get fertilized, and the cycle begins anew. But the squirter is poisonous.
What?
Every single part of the plant is toxic, so if Tweety here eats it, he's gonna become a KFC family bucket. So if that's the case, how does it spread its seed? Well, same way you do. You see, the cuke stores its seeds in the fruits as well.
Okay.
But the fruits are made up of very soft cells, and as they grow, they slowly fill with moisture. This moisture causes them to swell and inflate, increasing pressure on the inside of the fruit. That pressure builds. The fruit stretches. Until finally, all that pressure is too much for the stem to bear, and it pops out like the pin in a grenade. With that opening, all those seeds and all that pressure finally has somewhere to go. So, in order to spread its seed far and wide, it busts. This plant, spiders, scary. But hey, at least they can't get you in the water, right? Yeah, that nightmare is a fishing spider. Native to the land down under, because of course it fucking is. You may be wondering why the fuck this thing is pulling a Jesus. Well, you see, fishing spiders have no webs. Which means they can't just wait for a fly to clothesline itself when they're hungry. No, when they want to feed, they gotta hop in the ute, drive down to the waterfront, and get ready to do some serious fishing. Now, last I checked, spiders can't just go down to BCF and buy a fishing rod. No, these little guys need to get hands-on. Or, should I say feet? Because they start their hunt by resting their forelegs on the water's surface. These legs are covered in incredibly sensitive hairs, which detect tiny little ripples and vibrations from the water, basically giving them their prey's fucking IP address. Not only finding their location, but also doxing what fucking species it is. Uncooked fish finger located, all that's left to do is, go out and grab him. But, how? Well, no, he's not wearing 4 pairs of Frostwalker boots. Those long legs are also coated in hydrophobic hair. This allows them to put their weight on the water without breaking the surface tension. This means that when they see their prey, they can simply Jesus towards it at Mach 5 and fucking grab it. Biting it with venomous fangs that inject, you guessed it,
say the line, Bart.
Neurotoxin. And once it's paralysed, they drag it back to the shore and have a feed. Wait, this one's too small, we gotta throw him back.
Be free!
Spiders are scary. This is the world's deadliest tree.
How?
Introducing the manchineel tree, found in the United States of America and the Caribbean, and you may be wondering what makes it so deadly. And the answer is that when growing this thing, God used the same design philosophy that Miyazaki uses when he puts a swamp in a FromSoft game. Because even thinking about the fucking thing will poison you.
Leave me alone!
The entire tree, from root to stem, contains more toxicity than a league lobby, and that starts with the sap. This thick, sticky, white substance is not only found inside the tree, but thinly coats the entire thing, not unlike the sock under your bed. This is a problem because it contains 3 separate toxins that will seep into your system if you so much as f***ing brush the thing, causing severe itching, swelling, and chemical burns.
I think it's just because of allergies.
Getting toxic shock from just touching the thing isn't enough for you? Well, you'll be happy to know that eating the fruit on it can just kill you. Yeah, what the sap does to your skin, the fruit essentially does to your throat and internal organs. So just a few bites of Satan's apple here will cause you to start choking before you experience the worst stomach pain of your entire life, collapse to the ground, puke your guts up, and then start shitting them out. But the f***ed up part is even if you don't eat the fruit or touch the tree, it can still poison you. How? Well, let's say you're walking outside and suddenly it starts pissing down with rain. Thinking quickly, you run for cover under the branches of a tree, a manchineal tree. The rain hits the leaves and the branches of the tree, mixes with the toxic sap, and then falls directly onto your fucking head. This is the world's... This tree grows grenades.
What?
You see, this is a sandbox tree, native to South America, and before we even address the frag grenades growing in the branches, we are going to start at the bottom of the tree, because I feel it's important that you understand that this tree was designed from the roots up by God himself to f***ing hurt you. Growing up to a staggering 60 meters in height. The first phase of the fucking boss fight that is this tree is the giant, inch-long, rock-solid bark combat knives covering the thing from top to bottom. Now, if Groot's cousin being armed like the average British resident was not enough to stop you from getting too close, touching the tree will immediately make you realise it is not ribbed for your pleasure. It's for your fucking poison. Yep, as if the spikes weren't enough, the sap of the sandbox tree is very fucking toxic, causing severe itching and rashes on contact, and if you some fucking how get it into your eye, it will temporarily blind you. That all pales in comparison to what you came here for. The reason, the other name for this thing, is the fucking dynamite tree. The fruit. You see, these fruits aren't meant to be eaten. In fact, they're poisonous. Put it in your mouth, you'll cramp up, vomit, and shit yourself. No, they are made to spread the seeds of the sandbox tree in the most American way humanly possible. Explosions. The fruits are basically seed-filled time bombs. As once mature, they begin to dry out. As they dry, they shrink, and they slowly begin bending against their stems. The tension gets too high, snaps the fibers holding it against the stem, and the whole thing explodes like a fucking frag grenade, sending seeds flying up to 240 kilometers an hour.
What? What?
This tree, this turtle, breathes through its butt.
What?
No, this is not a joke. This is a Fitzroy River turtle, native to the land down under, and as with most of the shit found in God's drafts folder, its existence begs a single question.
What?
Fucking why? Well, these little guys are freshwater bottom feeders, snatching and consuming the children of aquatic insects and munching down on the occasional ribbonweed salad. And as with most river turtle species, this requires them to spend most of their time in the water. Now, rather than doing what most turtles do and developing an insane lung capacity, the Fitzroy decided to evolve a set of gills alongside their lungs to allow them to stay underwater for 3 weeks at a time.
Okay.
How are you?
3 weeks later.
I am under the water.
However, when placing the gills, God was absolutely fucking plastered. And instead of placing them on the neck like a normal animal, he slipped on a beer can and not only placed them on its ass, but inside of it. And you know what makes this even worse? Turtles do not have a single-purpose hole like you or me. They have a cloaca, which is the fucking Swiss Army knife of holes. This means that Fitzroy River turtles shit, piss, breathe, and fucking mate out of the same hole. This turtle breathes. Australia has dancing spiders. Allow me to introduce you to the land down under's most fabulous arachnid, the peacock spider. Now, this 8-legged pride flag is not remotely dangerous to humans. It's got full venom, tiny fangs, and as far as size goes, they're the spider equivalent of a fucking gnome. What makes these little guys interesting is their love lives. You see, not unlike normal peacocks, it's only the males of the species that are running the RGB gamer lights. But why are they built like a Razer laptop? Well, because spiders can't just post up with a dead fly on Tinder and start swiping. No, the boys here have to attract a lady the old-fashioned way. Shake an ass. You see, in order to find a mate, peacock spiders head out to the club and find a lady across the dance floor. They then lock eyes with her, and as the song changes, they raise that coloured dump truck to the sky, start playing Dance Dance f***ing Revolution, baby. Now, as he dances, the female spider watches very closely, not only paying attention to the movements of the dance, but also the fucking vibrations. And if our protagonist here can nail Osu Valentine's Edition just right, the female spider will slowly approach, lean in for a kiss, and... But, here's the thing. If he f***ed up the dance, he fails the charisma check. And if he f***s the charisma check, he's no longer boyfriend material. He's a f***ing Happy Meal. And all the time that you're wasting all my bridges Australia just found a new insect.
Who's that Pokemon?
And in a certified Australia moment, it is unironically called the f***ing Lucifer bee. Because of course we have the Satan bee. The snakes and the spiders and the f***ing dinosaurs weren't enough. No. Now I gotta dodge a rejected doom enemy on my walk to work. Discovered in the closest climate to hell on Earth, Western Australia, these bad boys were named after the Lord of Hell for 2 reasons. The first of which being the giant fucking demon horns bolted to their heads. Now, those horns aren't just there to look scary. They're actually a defensive mechanism to protect the demon bees from bigger predators. However, only the ladies of the species stay strapped, as the horns are only found on females, meaning a more accurate name for these absolute girl bosses is the Karlak bee. But a pair of spirit Halloween horns can't be the only reason they're named after the devil, right? I mean, there's gotta be f***ing something else. Like, do they spit fire? Maybe they've got a pitchfork for a stinger that injects you with f***ing acid venom. The answer to that is, no. It's a normal f***ing honeybee. The actual reason is that lead researcher, Dr. Kit Prendergast, was watching the f***ing Netflix show.
Biggest cock I've ever seen.
And this isn't even the first time she's done something like this. She named another species after her pet dog. F***ing based. Australia just found... That isn't a tree. It's a f***ing bird. Introducing the tawny frogmouth, a species of bird found in the land down under, and Australia's very own avian equivalent of a maxed out Skyrim stealth build.
Okay.
Now you may be thinking to yourself, well, it can't be that stealthy. I can see it. Yeah, you can. You can see that one. Did you see the one right f***ing next to it? Now, the important question is, why the f*** do these things have predator camo? Well, there's two reasons. First of all being, it's f***ing Australia. You see, these bad boys are primarily nocturnal, staying on the move during the night and dive bombing unaware insects to meet their bulking goals. However, that means that during the day, they sleep. And in a country where at any point you can be bitten, mauled, stung, or f***ing drop-kicked to death, laying down in the wrong spot can turn a short nap into the forever sleep. So, in order to prevent themselves from becoming an item on a snake's KFC order, these tactical chickens evolved the ghillie suit to basically allow them to f***ing disappear. Being practically invisible allows them to unlock their second passive, f***ing DoorDash. You see, these guys are so f***ing good at cosplaying a stick that not only do predators mistake them for Groot, but so does their prey. And so, whenever they take a nap, they just leave their mouths open a little bit. And whenever some poor ant just tries to walk his way to work, he instead DoorDashes himself directly into its fucking mouth. That isn't a tree. I want you to imagine you're cave diving. You turn a corner and see a spider web the size of the fucking wall.
What?
I regret to inform you that no, this is not fake. This is an actual photo from the inside of a cave on the Greek-Albanian border, where scientists have discovered the world's largest... This pond is hiding something scary. No, not that. It's worse. You see, these are cranberries, a small red fruit used in juice, sauces, and even alcohol. However, unlike many fruits which grow in luscious green fields, cranberries grow on a f***ing swamp. However, sharing a postcode with Shrek doesn't exempt cranberries from pest control issues. But rather than dumping enough toxic chemicals on the cranberry bog to qualify it as a League of Legends lobby, cranberry farmers decided to use a more interesting form of pest control.
What?
Fucking wolf spiders. That's right, in order to prevent a horde of bugs from devouring these innocent cranberries, our brave hell spiders are deployed to the field to protect against the horde. Which works great. Until they flood the fields to harvest the cranberries, at which point the highly venomous wolf spiders start to look for the closest high point. And if you're picking the berries, that's you. This pond is... This shrimp has a gun. No, this isn't a Fortnite skin. This is a real f***ing animal. And it's called the pistol shrimp. Now, unsurprisingly, being named after a firearm, of course it's f***ing native to the United States of America.
Okay.
Where the f*** else do you think you were going to find it? However, they can actually be found expressing their Second Amendment rights over the majority of the globe too. Now, coming in at a huge 2 inches, it is not the size of his body that makes him special, but the caliber of the big iron on his hip. Or should I say big claw? You see, that oversized right pincher isn't just because he forgot to, switch hands while doing homework. No, mate, that claw is basically fucking Mega Man's arm cannon. But last I checked, they can't call in an ammo resupply under the sea. So how does the claw become a gun? The answer is bubble. You see, these bad boys hunt smaller shrimp, and they start that hunt by jumping off the f***ing battle bus and looking for prey. Once they get within effective range, they will literally cock their claw like the hammer on a revolver. Weapon ready, they line up the shot, take aim, and...
Counter-terrorists win.
They snap their claws together so f***ing fast, it causes an underwater vacuum, creating an explosive cavitation bubble hotter than the surface of the sun. This bubble is then launched at the enemy at over 100k an hour. The bubble then connects with the smaller shrimp and flashbangs it. This either kills it outright or stuns it long enough to be consumed. Poor little fucker got quickscoped by Fey shrimp. Aussie farmers thought they were being attacked by aliens.
Why?
But what was actually causing it is so much funnier. This is a wallaby, the kangaroo's vertically challenged little cousin. Now, to get a little more specific, this is a Bennett's wallaby, native to my home state of Tasmania. And that location is very important to the story. Tassie is home to a lot of things. Beautiful views, a seal with a felony record, and the nut. However, one thing they tend to leave off the tourism brochures is drugs. Tasmania is the world's largest exporter of legal opium, the main ingredient in opioid painkillers like morphine, with this one tiny island producing 50% of global supply. Now, opium comes from poppy milk, and to get poppy milk, you need to milk poppies. And to produce that 50% of global supply, Tasmanian farmers grow huge fields of these things across the north of the state. However, because throwing these flowers into a crafting table gives you narcotics, these fields are legally required to be under extremely tight security. Which is why these same poppy farmers became extremely confused when crop circles showed up in the plant equivalent of a Town Hall 9 Clash of Clans base. They were understandably absolutely bewildered by this, and some people even thought it was aliens. So to figure out whether or not it was a Halo Elite drawing this they set up some cameras. And what they saw was this little shit breaking into the field, eating the milk-filled buds, getting absolutely eyed, and then hopping in circles until he passed the out. They thought the Covenant were invading, and it was a drink-driving wallaby. Aussie farmers thought Australia just found a new shark. And of course, being from the land down under, it's fucking weird. Introducing the brand new Western Australian lantern shark. As the name suggests, discovered by a team of scientists off the coast of Western Australia. Now, as with the overwhelming majority of weird shit in the ocean, the Ozempic shark here is found in the deep sea, sharing a postcode with the anglerfish, that one xenomorph shark, and now, despite the word shark making most people think of something a little closer in size to, I don't know, Bruce, Slenderman's fish sonar over here only grows up to 30 centimeters. This little guy shares a weight class with a fucking foot long. But I mean, honestly, I still personally think 30 centimeters is way too big. He could be just as good as the other sharks if he was, you know, let's just say 3 inches. However, other than being built like a fishy USB cable and owning a property in rock bottom, what makes him so weird? Simple. He fucking glows.
How? How does it glow?
Well, you see, these bad boys are found in the twilight zone of the ocean, around 1.2 kilometers below the surface. A place so fucking far down, it sees less sunlight than the inside of a gacha addict's room. And so, lantern sharks evolved bioluminescence on...
Please ignore the piano noises in the background. Oh my god.
...their gills and fins in order to fucking communicate with one another. The glow is the evolutionary equivalent of a fucking indicator, showing that a literal abyss shark is more intelligent than your average BMW driver. Australia just found there is a competition in America where they vote.
I got into a car crash.
How was that kangaroo jumping on the water? And no, we do not ride kangaroos to school. That is not true.
Okay, so, as the Aussie animal guy, I feel like I might owe you an explanation for this one. That is a normal fucking roo. No, he is not Roosus Christ, he's not the second coming, and he's not gonna turn your water into wine. Alright, he might turn it into VB if you ask nice.
Get that up.
But if that's the case, how the fuck is he stealing the Son of God's passive? Well, the answer is fucking sand.
What?
Yeah, you see, what's far more likely than a roo being enchanted with water walking is that he's actually running on a sandbar. That is basically just a fancy description for ocean currents piling up a shitload of sand into one place, creating an offshore segment of the water that's not much deeper than a fucking kid's pool. Now, roos know about sandbars, and they actually very frequently use them as a shortcut to get from A to B to find more food.
Okay.
So, while it looks like Skippy here is stealing Jesus' entire fucking flow,
Yeah.
he's actually on a Macca's mish.
Let me get a...
This is the world's oldest shark.
We got a
Boomer!
But how old actually is it? This absolute fossil over here is the Greenland shark.
Okay.
And this may come as a shock to you.
Alright, we're gonna end it here. Peace.